A quick note on terms. Medical understanding of terms like post-exertional malaise, post-exertional neuroimmune exhaustion, and post-exertional symptom exacerbation is constantly evolving. In this video, we primarily use PESI because we feel it clearly describes the crash when even small amounts of effort worsen symptoms across the body for many chronic illness communities. We recognize that PEM is central to the lived experience of those with ME and is more than just a worsening of symptoms. The definitions used in this video reflect our current knowledge as patient advocates as of October 2025.
Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Thompson, and I am a patient and parent advocate who has long COVID and chronic migraines. Welcome to our video, Pace Yourself, Managing Energy in Chronic Illness. This video is for anyone living with a chronic illness, post-viral illness, or long COVID. Living with a chronic illness often feels like running a marathon with an invisible weight. One of the biggest challenges? Extreme fatigue. It's not just being tired, it's a profound exhaustion that impacts every aspect of life. This video isn't about finding a magic cure. It's about learning to manage your most limited resource, energy. In this video, we will explain what chronic fatigue and post-exertional symptom exacerbation are and why they happen. We will also cover some practical tools to help you stabilize your symptoms and minimize your crashes. We have summarized energy management information available from numerous resources, including Bateman Horne Center, ME Action, and Long COVID Physio. Resources we used will be shared throughout this video to support your understanding and application of these concepts. Let's start by clarifying what chronic fatigue is. Chronic fatigue isn't the same as the tiredness you feel after a long day or a bad night's sleep. It's a persistent, debilitating exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest. It can be accompanied by other symptoms like pain, cognitive dysfunction, or muscle weakness. It can feel like you constantly have the flu. It disrupts your daily activities and can significantly impact your quality of life. Chronic fatigue is not caused by overactivity or overexertion and is not proportional to the activity performed. You can feel like there's no more energy left in your battery or that it only charges to half or a quarter of its charge, and it can never get up to that full charge level. A critical concept for us to talk about is what many of us in the patient community call a crash, or what doctors call post-exertional symptom exacerbation. You may also hear the term post-exertional malaise. Simply put, a crash is a worsening of your symptoms after exertion. Here's the tricky part. It doesn't always happen right away. You might feel fine during an activity, but the crash can hit you 24 to 72 hours later. This delay is why it's so hard to predict and manage energy. If you have ME/CFS, this is considered a cardinal or major symptom, and many of you with long COVID experience it too. It's essential to realize that exertion does not mean physical exercise. A crash can be triggered by many things, and it's important to recognize which triggers impact you the most. Physical triggers. This could be basic movement like turning over in bed, taking a shower, or walking the dog. It can also be a recent illness or hormonal changes. Cognitive triggers. Things like working, reading, or writing can lead to a crash. Emotional triggers. Both negative and positive emotions can set you off. Getting into a conflict or even intense excitement, like celebrating a birthday or a new grandchild, can trigger a symptom flare. Orthostatic stress. Just being upright, like sitting at a desk or standing to cook, can cause a crash, especially if you have dysautonomia. Sensory input. Things like bright fluorescent lights, strong perfumes, or loud noises can overwhelm your system. Environmental stressors, outside factors like a heat wave or a sudden change in barometric pressure can also make your symptoms worse and bring on a crash. Many of you may experience this push-crash cycle where you get a little energy, you push to do more, you overdo it, and then you crash and have a worsening of your symptoms. You're forced to rest and recover, only to start the cycle again when you feel slightly better. It's a constant, exhausting battle to figure out your energy limits and minimize crashes. The main strategy for breaking this exhausting push-crash cycle is pacing. This concept, pioneered by health psychologist Ellen Goldsmith, is simple but challenging. Balance rest and activity, then stop before you overdo it. The goal isn't to rest all the time, but to stay as active as possible within your daily energy limits. So, how exactly do you apply this principle in your daily life? First, find your energy baseline. You need to determine how much activity, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, you can handle without triggering a crash. This is your safe limit. Figuring this out can be tricky because your limit might look different every single day. Don't be discouraged if you overdo it. We've all been there, but it's part of the learning process. Stay within the baseline. Once you have a general idea of your baseline, the rule is simple. Consistently do less than your perceived safe limit. This is especially critical on those good days. That buffer is what prevents overexertion. A great way to track this is to keep an activity journal of everything you do and how you feel afterward. This helps you clearly identify your triggers and limits. Use preemptive rest. You need to plan and take scheduled rests before you feel tired and before your symptoms flare. Don't wait until you've hit your limit to rest, because at that point, it will take you much longer to recover and recharge. Break down activities. Take necessary tasks like chores, work, and even social activities and divide them into smaller, manageable chunks with planned rest in between. Instead of cleaning the whole kitchen at once, break it into 3 10-minute segments spread across the day. Finally, listen to early signals. You must become an expert at listening to your body's early warnings. Pay close attention to subtle signs of overexertion. The first increase in brain fog, or pain, or fatigue, and stop immediately, even if the task is unfinished. The chore can wait, your health can't. It's absolutely critical to understand this. Pacing is not a strategy to avoid activity. It's a strategy to manage the limited energy you have. You simply cannot push through your symptoms like you might have done before. That's what leads to the crash. The real goal here is to get you to a more stable and predictable symptom level. Once you reach that symptom stabilization, then you can work toward gradually and safely trying to increase your baseline. Pacing is your tool for consistency, not avoidance. Pacing is a powerful tool, but it's not always easy. We have to talk about the things in your life that can cause you to overexert yourself, leading to a crash. It's important to recognize that these barriers are not your fault. They are the reality of living with a chronic illness. Overcoming them is key to achieving symptom stabilization. External barriers. These are the things outside of yourself that demand your energy. Family and caregiving responsibilities. It's tough when others rely on you, like children, elderly parents, or even pets. Being unable to take necessary rests because of these duties is a massive challenge. Work and financial stress. The pressure to work or complete studies to earn money often forces you to push past your limits, even when you know a crash is coming. Lack of understanding from others. It's incredibly isolating when family, friends, or employers just don't grasp the concept of overexertion worsening your symptoms or your constant need for rest. Internal barriers. These are the powerful mental and emotional factors we all struggle with: guilt, shame, and frustration. That horrible feeling of being lazy for resting, or the intense guilt for not being productive. These emotions are huge barriers. Don't let shame be a trigger. Difficulty saying no. It's human nature to agree to activities or obligations that exceed your energy capacity just to avoid disappointing others. We have to practice protecting our energy first. The drive to achieve and fear of missing out. Many people with chronic illness have an internal pressure to maintain a busy schedule. This, combined with the fear of missing out on fun or important events, can lead you to push knowing you'll pay for it later. Optimism, or the good day trap. This is perhaps the hardest one. On a day when your symptoms are reduced, you feel better and forget your limits. You think, I'm cured, and then you overspend and crash. Recognizing these barriers is the first step. Pacing requires adapting your mindset and boundaries too. Now that we understand what pacing is, let's look at some concrete actions you can take every single day to stay within your energy envelope. Daily habits for consistency. Take scheduled rest breaks throughout the day to recover and recharge. Don't wait until you're already wiped out. Give yourself extra time to complete activities and tasks. Rushing is a guaranteed way to trigger a crash. Reduce physical and cognitive activities immediately if your symptoms start to get worse. Stop before the flare becomes a crash. Conserve energy. Work smarter, not harder. The key to managing chronic fatigue is reducing the total energy required for your daily tasks. Break tasks into chunks. Conserve energy by dividing larger tasks into smaller, manageable chunks spread out over time. Split up meal preparation. Do food prep in the morning, but cook the actual meal in late afternoon. Clean in phases. Clean the bathroom sink, toilet, and tub at separate times or on separate days. Don't rush the laundry. Only put away half a load of laundry at a time. Remove unnecessary steps. Look for shortcuts to simplify your routines and remove tasks that cost energy but don't add value. Use kitchen tools. Conserve energy by using blenders and food processors instead of doing all food prep by hand. Simplify laundry sorting. Stop separating laundry into whites, colors, and darks, unless absolutely necessary. Combine loads. Stop sorting laundry by washing each person's laundry in their own load. Change your position. If standing is hard, especially with dysautonomia, find ways to perform tasks seated or laying down. External support and self-compassion. Pacing isn't just about what you do, it's about what you allow and how you treat yourself. Ask for help. Conserve energy by requesting help to carry heavy items like groceries and laundry baskets. And when friends and family offer to help, take them up on it. Be kind to yourself. You may need to skip chores or miss work for an event that brings you joy. Sometimes using energy for connection or mental health is more important than cleaning the floor. A great resource for all ages is the Pacing Penguins handout developed by Long COVID Kids. It has fantastic tips for both children and adults on how pacing can support energy management. They've included a number of ideas on how to gain energy, how to use energy wisely, and how to stop energy drains. Spoon theory, coined by Christine Miserandino, visualizes daily energy as spoons. Imagine you start every day with a handful of spoons, which represent your total energy for the day. For a healthy person, their spoons are almost unlimited. For someone living with a chronic illness, that handful might only be 10 spoons. Every task, not just physical exercise or cognitively demanding work, costs a certain number of spoons. So you have to decide which tasks are essential and which ones to cut. Getting out of bed and getting dressed might each cost 1 spoon. Managing your medication and making lunch might each take 2 spoons. Going to the doctor might take 3 spoons. So it might be early afternoon and you only have 1 spoon left, requiring you to rest and recharge to get through the rest of the day. Prioritizing your daily tasks is key to managing your energy effectively. I'd like to point out 2 resources on spoon theory. This graphic on the right, created by Kaleidoscope Fighting Lupus, and a great YouTube video called What is a Spoonie by Jessica Kellgren-Fozard. The energy envelope, created by Dr. Leonard Jason, represents your safe, maximum energy limit for daily activity. Staying within this envelope prevents symptom flares. Start the morning by estimating your energy available for the day using a scale of 0 to 100. Then, plan your day to stay inside that limit to avoid a crash. You'll choose your activities by allotting points or percentages to each activity you are going to do in the day. So, for example, having a shower might be 10 points. Going to work might be worth 20 points. Playing with the dog in the backyard might be worth 5 points. But you may only have 60 points available that day, so you have to pick and choose your priorities and what you want to accomplish each day. Make sure to stop while you're ahead, take breaks, and rest before you feel completely drained or symptoms begin to worsen. Pacing isn't easy, but it can help you better control your symptoms, be more active, and improve your quality of life. I'd like to point out 2 resources on energy envelope. A video by Bateman Horn Center and another from Dr. Leonard Jason himself. Assistive devices are physical tools and smart adaptations that help you manage your energy, perform daily tasks with less strain, and ultimately maintain your independence and improve your quality of life. Here are some examples that help conserve your energy throughout your home. For personal care and self-care in the bathroom, use a shower chair or bath bench to avoid standing, and install toilet safety rails for easier, safer transfers. Make personal care easier with an electric toothbrush and a long-handled sponge or scrubber. In the bedroom, a bed rail can help with getting in and out of bed, and a stool at the vanity allows you to sit while doing your hair and makeup. For the kitchen and cooking, use a counter-height stool for seated meal prep. Simplify tasks with automated tools like a food processor, electric can opener, or jar opener. For chores and cleaning, let technology do the heavy lifting. A robot vacuum or a handheld steamer can reduce physical effort. Use a utility cart for transporting supplies, saving you countless trips and reducing the need to carry heavy loads. For mobility and getting out, these devices allow you to travel farther without crashing. For standing in line, a walking stick with a seat is a fantastic option. For home tasks, a reacher or grabber means you don't have to bend over, saving your back and energy. For longer distances, tools like a cane, crutches, a walker, or a rollator provide stability, and a mobility scooter or wheelchair allows you to go much further than you could on your own 2 feet. Using these devices is not a sign of giving up. It is a sign of smart, proactive pacing. One of the hardest parts of pacing is figuring out your energy limit. but technology can help. Symptom tracking apps make it easier to monitor how different activities, foods, and sleep patterns affect you. Apps like Visible, Bearable, Flare Down, and Guava are specifically designed to help manage chronic health conditions. The Visible app is fantastic because it provides visual charts. This lets you compare different types of exertion directly to your symptoms, helping you figure out precisely what activities might be causing your crashes. Plus, Visible has a great community section with podcasts, blogs, and research to support you. Guava is another helpful tool that can monitor your symptoms and keep track of your medications all in one place. Using these apps transforms guessing into data, empowering you to make smarter choices about your energy every day. Beyond physical fatigue and pain, many of us with chronic health conditions deal with significant cognitive dysfunction. While it's often referred to as brain fog, it's important to recognize this isn't just fogginess. It's a cognitive impairment that severely impacts your day-to-day life. This dysfunction, which often worsens during a crash, makes simple tasks incredibly hard. You might struggle with focus and attention, communication, memory, and decisions. You could have a hard time following the plot of a movie or book, or struggle to finish tasks and follow multi-step instructions. You might find it hard to keep up with conversations with friends, or even struggling to quickly find the right words when asked a question. You could have difficulties with short-term memory and even simple decision-making. When you add daily headaches or migraines to these cognitive challenges, it becomes incredibly difficult to function, especially if you need to perform at work or school. Recognizing that this is a physical symptom, not a character flaw, is the first step toward finding solutions to manage it. The good news is that we have practical strategies to help you navigate those cognitive challenges and headaches. The goal is to minimize the mental effort required for your day, much like we minimize physical effort. Slow down and simplify. Allow extra time for everything, whether it's household chores or work tasks. Rushing puts immense pressure on your brain. Reduce multitasking. Your brain is already working overtime. Focus on one task at a time to minimize cognitive strain. Use multiple cues. Don't rely solely on memory. Use a combination of cues: visual, like sticky notes or calendars; auditory, like alarms or smart speaker reminders; and tactile, like placing keys by the door to support your memory. Prioritize rest and pacing. Preemptive rests are key. Schedule rest before your typical crash time, especially if you struggle in the afternoons. Resting before you hit your limit prevents symptoms from escalating. Spread out cognitive tasks. Alternate between mentally demanding tasks and lighter physical ones to give your brain a break. For example, answer emails for 15 minutes, then spend 10 minutes gently loading the dishwasher, then return to email. Reduce sensory input. Your nervous system is often overwhelmed, so reducing input can prevent crashes and headaches. Use noise reduction tools. Invest in noise-canceling headphones or loop earplugs to lower the auditory burden. Manage light sensitivity. Wear sunglasses indoors if needed, and use blue light glasses when looking at screens. Be a clear and confident self-advocate, especially during high-stakes communication. During medical appointments or work meetings, request both written and verbal communication. Don't be afraid to ask for a written summary after the appointment or meeting if you have a hard time with concentration or memory. After all, it's essential documentation to have. If you are working or studying, a fantastic resource is the Job Accommodation Network. They have a helpful article on executive functioning that provides specific, actionable ideas for work accommodations you can request. This can make a huge difference in your ability to perform without crashing. Assistive devices can help you manage cognitive dysfunction and headaches by offloading the burden from your fatigued brain. Here are some examples you can try. Memory and organization. Use electronic calendars for scheduling and keep your tasks organized with written instructions and lists. Medication management. Never miss a dose. Use medication alarms and a pill docket to simplify your routine. Reading and writing. Let technology do the heavy lifting. Utilize text-to-speech apps if reading strains your concentration. And use speech-to-text apps if writing or typing is cognitively demanding. These tools are not a sign of weakness. They are smart, practical adaptations that reserve your energy for tasks that truly need your full attention. We hope this video has given you practical tools for managing energy and will help you minimize crashes and improve your quality of life. Remember, you're not alone.